Well, hello, and glad you decided to join us on tonight's Alabama adventure. I guess we'll call this one a Shadow Regions episode because we're going to be talking about cemeteries a little bit. I know all of you remember Debbie. I still talk to her every once in a while. Not talking to her as much as I did back when I was in the hospital with a heart attack. She certainly listened to me a lot of times at night when I was down and out, and we had some long conversations on the phone sometimes, and I do thank her for helping me through those hard times over there while I was in Carrollton, more especially, and then on down to Opelika, and then finally back up to Emory for the robotic heart surgery they did up there. I've kind of lost my voice again. I apologize for that. That's not my fault. I'm going to do a video on why I believe I'm losing my voice, and my legs are swelling with a lot of fluid once again. They put me on hospice about 2.5, 3 months ago, and the doctor that's over the hospice organization, which is Compassus Hospice out of Roanoke, Alabama, decided that he would take me off of some of my heart medicine since it was some expensive heart medicine. I don't mean to be going into my problems tonight. I just want to let you know why I'm losing my voice again. He decided that this doctor, he's not too much of a doctor in my opinion, but anyway, he decided that since the medicine cost so much to refill, that he would take me off of it, and I'm certainly not doing as well as I was. I'm going to do a video on that later on. I do want to give him credit for what he does do, like take people off of their medicine undoubtedly. Undoubtedly, hospice is an organization that wants you to die quick. They're probably run by the Illuminati. That's all I can figure out. Why else would a doctor that is supposed to keep you comfortable and keep you out of pain last few weeks or whatever of your life, why would they take you off of something that it was keeping you out of pain and getting you, at least keeping you to where you could talk and breathe and that type of stuff? But I'll go into that later on. I just wanted you to know what was happening. Anyway, let me get back to Debbie for just a minute or two. You'll just have to overlook my voice. But anyway, I want to get back to Debbie. She likes to go to cemeteries and explore and that type of stuff in cemeteries. She told me up there one night while we were talking, while I was in the hospital with these heart attacks, as I said, she told me that there was a grave, I believe it's in Franklin County, that had that it was marked that this was a soldier under A. Jackson, and she was wondering if it was Andrew Jackson, and I told her it very possibly was. Whenever she gave me the dates, I'm gonna put that picture on now. This is a picture of the gravestone of John Holland. He was born December 9, 1795, and he died May 25, 1878. So that would certainly put him in that time period of Andrew Jackson, when Andrew Jackson was a general. And anyway, what I was wondering after I got this picture, I wonder if this John Holland fought at Horseshoe Bend with Jackson. Certainly his age would put him at the right age to be down there whenever that battle was fought. But anyway, this is just something I thought might be interesting, kind of a little sidetrack that you might be interested in if you're interested in that type of stuff that associates with Andrew Jackson, which I am somewhat. But anyway, just wanted to show you this picture of this grave in Franklin County of a soldier that possibly fought under Andrew Jackson. Now, before we get any further in the video, I have another picture I want you to look at real quick. This picture right here is a Southern Cross. I've also heard it called a Southern Star. It was awarded to certain individuals who served in the Confederate Army. This was for extreme bravery or heroism, something like that, in battle. And that's what I have been told, and that's what I have read on the internet, that these particular Southern Crosses were for. They weren't for just every soldier that fought. They were for a chosen few. And the other day, me and a friend of mine, we were sitting here, and I was wanting to get on this video, and well, we wasn't just sitting here, we were here, and I was wanting to get on this video, and I told him, I said, let's go out to some of the old cemeteries. I said, I want to get a picture of one of these southern crosses to use on this video, since we are going to be talking about a Confederate cemetery in just a few minutes. And that's what we did, and we rode and rode that afternoon, and all of the little markers like this one that you see, here's a close-up of that Southern Cross. All of them are gone. We finally, in about the last cemetery we went to that afternoon, we finally found this one, and I'm not going to tell what cemetery it's in, or this one could come up missing. Now anyway, there's one of two things, or maybe a combination of both, of what have happened to these grave markers, and that's exactly what they are, and they should be left alone. As you remember a while back, and I did a little something on a video that we had a while back about it, we have a minority of people in this country who wants to do away with all the history, especially anything that pertains to Civil War history. And you need to think back, and you need to wake up. If that war hadn't come out the way it did, and one certain side hadn't won and one certain side hadn't lost, what's going on now in the country might be a whole lot different from what it is now. People might not have it so easy as they do now. Anyway, if the outcome had been different. Now that's my opinion, and we know what Clint Eastwood says about opinions, and that's exactly the same way that I feel about opinions. Anyway, the people that want the history done away with could have went to the cemeteries and found these and pulled them up and threw them away, because they did have something to do with our Civil War history. It also could be that our fine crackheads and dopeheads saw that there might be a little bit of money, maybe 3 or 4 cents a piece, to carry them to the scrapyard and sell them for metal to go buy some drugs. And I'm pretty certain that that's what happened with some of them. And that's why I'm not going to tell you where this one is, or I know some people that are our fine citizens, our fine crackheads and dopeheads and meth heads, that would run down there tonight as soon as they watch this video and pull this up, and it would be carried down to Buffalo, Alabama, is where our closest scrapyard is, I guess, right now. I'm not sure if it's still in business or not. But anyway, I'll get off of my little soapbox tonight complaining about the way things go. We all should be thankful that things go as well as they do sometimes. Anyway, let's get on with the video. Okay, now, so I sort of got sidetracked with the bad luck with hospice I'm having lately. But anyway, let me say what I always like to say whenever we start these Alabama adventures. From the tail end of the Appalachian Mountain Chain in the heart of the South, this is Alabama Adventures. All right, now, a lot of you sent me photographs of Bigfoot signs, cemeteries, UFOs, just all type of stuff, and I certainly appreciate you sending me that stuff. And this is from 2 people that sent me 5 pictures of a cemetery, and then some other pictures that they made one afternoon. What was going on, I was looking over the email that he sent with these pictures. He says he and his wife, or could be his girlfriend, I'm not sure which one, he used their name, but I don't want to use their name. As you know, I like to keep identities completely confidential here at Alabama Bigfoot Society. He said they were out doing some exploring one afternoon close to Claiborne County in Alabama, and they came upon this little Confederate graveyard. As we were looking around the gravestones, we took a couple of pictures. And I'll just say what you always say: have a look at them and see what you think. And that's certainly what I do like for people to look at pictures I get and pictures I make. I like you to look at them, and I like to get your opinion of what you see in these pictures. Anyway, what I want to do is hold on just a second and let me get the pictures set up, and I'll sort of explain what we got here. Okay, now, so I've had to put these old glasses back on. I know they look kind of funny. There's some old reading glasses I've had for a long time, but I can at least see out of them. So let's go first to picture 027. This is a picture of the Confederate Cemetery near Claiborne County here in Alabama. All right, now let me get over here and show you the next picture. They did make this picture of the cemetery, then they began to make some pictures of the surrounding woods. And here's picture 025. It's what seems to be a X formation on the on those 2 trees right there. All right, let's go now to picture 028. As you can see, this is another exclamation that they found out. It's not the same one. This is a different one that they found out in the woods, and it could be a broken tree right to the left side of that big pine. It's in the foreground. I'm not sure. You look at it and let me know what you think. Okay, now let's go on to picture 029. You can tell this is a very good exclamation. It's not the same one. You can tell that. This is made out of some pretty heavy timber right here. And let me see, I believe we have another one. This is 1024. See what you think about that. I just wanted to show you those pictures right quick on this little short video. Like I said, and like they said in the letter and the email, you look at them and let me know what you think about them. Also, a little something else I want to add about the email that he sent. Okay, now they went up to Talladega National Forest a little bit later on, and there's a very old church that sits out in the middle of the forest out there. It's called Shoal Creek Church. I have never been in this church. I have passed by several times a sign out on one of the main paved roads that got an arrow on it, and it says Shoal Creek Church, and you go down through the woods a good little ways to get to this. And anyway, this is where he made some other pictures, but he did not send me copies of those. He said that he and his wife or girlfriend, whatever she was in the church, and they took some pictures of her with a Samsung phone. When they got back home, they looked at the pictures, and they were beyond weird. The pictures were of someone else's face, and he calls his girlfriend or wife's name. One of the pictures was downright scary looking. We think something was trying to possess her. We have heard that devil worshippers frequent this church and the graveyard. She's terrified, and we have never gone back. Just wanted to tell you that. Anyway, I have heard pretty much the same story about this Shoal Creek Church, that it is now used by Satanists, devil worshippers, and that type of stuff. And it very well could be that something was trying to possess her. I had something very similar to this to happen to me one time. I was dating a woman, and we went somewhere and we made some photographs and that type of stuff. And then whenever we got back home that afternoon and we downloaded the photographs, it certainly was not of her face. It was of her body, but her face was totally different. It looked a whole lot older than what she was. The woman that I was dating at the time, she was around 35 to 38 years old. I can't remember her exact age, but she was in her late 30s, just I meant to say that. And when we developed the pictures, it was a very old-looking, haggardy-looking hag, I guess you would call it, that looked like it was probably in her 60s. And we both were kind of concerned about what had happened. Knew it couldn't be the camera, because we had made some other pictures of her as well as me in some other places that same day, and those pictures came out fine. So it very well could be that this man here that sent me these pictures of the Confederate Cemetery, and that me and the lady that I was dating back in, this had probably been 10 or 12 years ago, we could have walked up on a unholy place, or place where devil worship had been going on. But anyway, I just want you to see those few pictures right quick on this little video. And as I always like to say, the Alabama Bigfoot Society is run completely out of pocket. If you're in a position where you can and where you would like to make a donation, that would be very much appreciated. If you like this video, give us a like. And if you like what we're doing down here with all our paranormal investigation and work, I hope you would subscribe to the channel. Anyway, I guess with all that being said, I'll be looking for you next time on the next Alabama Adventure. And until then, may the Great Spirit always walk close to you in your circle of life.